Lex, suklay karaksu mokli mare, le as derek, blikskay karep leporek muskayost. Chelwes, mraklikay mora mo replekur mixitaik, replin zeterek west, bast, mclex. Bokles, metakorik, tebilewe, raplekuma, mexiteki mari, klex, olokle most. Tas de raksu, moklix, kle oraksu, abundance. As the ships are approaching and all around, I guess they approve this message or they're making sure it gets out. Either way, I accept your presence, my family, above my head. The ships are here now. They have been here forever. I do not need a video editor, family. And I will be answering questions as we go along because I can stay on topic while answering your questions. So if you have questions, please try to think before you ask the question. Just show some respect. And a couple of you are about to be removed quickly. Remember, if you are watching this video, do not allow beings that come in here to throw your energy off, including myself. But if they continue to go on, I will remove them. I want you to understand something. There are certain beings here to come here to teach you certain lessons. Now you're at the point where you've reached me. I'm a being to teach you how to teach yourself. That is what I'm here to do. Because you all have this internal instincts, this knowledge inside of you. And today we're going to get into a lot of that. We're going to get into a lot of that. I want you to understand something. A lot of it. Meklag sumita koreksik. Moklig. Sorry, I removed the wrong comment. Fair use. That wasn't for you. But anyway, let's get into it. Remember, this message that I speak is very dangerous to the power structure, but they can't stop the message. They can do little things to slow it down or to pretend to slow it down, but the right beings who get to this message will get to this message. Nobody can stop you. Nobody can stop us from speaking. I want you to understand something. Nobody can stop us from speaking. Many things they have tried over the years. I am grateful for all the things that have happened for me, never to me. And then even the moments where you realize that, or you don't realize they're happening for you and you think they're happening to you. And when you respond, how you grow because of that response is very, very, very beautiful, y'all. Now, today we're going to get into cosmic blueprints. Cosmic blueprints. Cosmic blueprints. And I'm only going to ask questions that are relevant to ascension. Anything which is not relevant to ascension, I will not answer. As the hummingbirds are always wrestling right in front of my face. I hope they get in the camera right here because they be right in my face like this, testing my frequency. Because that's what happens. Like lately, y'all saw the video about, the dragons in the water, and many beings could not process that video, including the platforms that I posted them on, because that isn't supposed to happen in the Matrix. Dragons are only supposed to be on TV and cartoons. It's never supposed to be in front of you. But when you begin to unlock your cosmic blueprint, the things that you didn't think were possible for you become possible for you. The thing is, when you begin to share it with other beings who haven't realized this about themselves, they begin to project, or they cannot process, because they have not yet really begin to truly process higher level experiences in their realities. If you want to process higher level experiences in your reality, you might want to follow these steps. And the thing about these steps is they're going to apply directly to you. Even if I use examples about what happened for me in my experience here, you'll be able to apply these methods to you and get results from it. And if you do not want to get results from it, you do not want to apply it, just don't apply it. Simple as that. Now, first, when it comes down to your cosmic blueprint, there are many names that beings may call it. They may call it your scrolls. They may call it your files. I call it your cosmic blueprint. This is what I call it. And our cosmic blueprints are specific for us. Now, if you've gotten to the point of your matrix where you are tired of the things that you are doing, or you want to have different experiences which you are yearning for, I think it's time to listen. You understand? I think it's time to listen. At the end of the day, it's time to listen. Because there are many beings that do not want you to get out at all. They do not want you to get out. They do not want me to get out. The thing is, when you get to certain levels, they can't stop it. All they can do is try to annoy you the whole way through. Because there's this thing about your avatar. There's this thing about your avatar. Your avatar can do many things that these beings do not want you to know. Many, many things. Many things. And the thing about your avatar is that once it gets to a certain state, they stay back. Because if they came at you like you thought they came at you, your systems will come online. So they have to watch you figure out your cosmic blueprint while they throw distractions in the mix to throw you off from your journey. Now, one of the biggest things about your cosmic blueprint is planning and flow. Because we were taught linear. We were taught linear ways. Now, linear is like a chord of movement. You know how we talk about the string of sound? Flicotoric mukai klai dore clintoric bu fitakum silai rapidacum zitaki rig gitaric must Faik loa zotoric mufili indaik replicitakurix jazerag zu monfiere plum zetakaevarag zu ditakin zepsikerig julia raplun zeterig bon zeteric clag zerama sukurix. How language moves on a string of sound, right? Language was taught to you in a linear way through the vowel system. I'm really going somewhere with this. I want you to stay with me here. The vowel system was taught to you A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. If you think about the tonality of that sound and the way this English tongue speaks, there isn't really any projection because English was taught to us in a very fast blah, 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 way. Not to slow ourselves down, not to project our words. Now, could it be that everything that was taught to us was linear? It was linear. So we could move on the string of movement that kept you away from your true cosmic blueprint, your true flow. Because 1 + 1 must equal 2, and one foot must go in front of the other. No sidestepping there, mental slave. No sidestepping there, mental slave. Mental slave. Mental slave. So, the real vowel system is I, A, E, I, O, U. I, E, I, O, U. Neslia wepoe mara click. Utikiri mo skiragzikt. So let's talk about school. School. You went to school and you were taught how to stand in lines, how to sit in a row, how to move based off of time. As you get to higher levels of school from elementary and you move into middle school, now they teach you movement with time. Your classes now are certain time limits, and then you move to another class in the same way 5 days a week. A linear type of schedule. Then you get to high school, shorter classes, more movement. Then college, longer times between classes, but still movement on time. And then work, being at a job at a particular time of day. Now, if we think about the things that we do in life, that is also taught to us in a linear way as well. What time do I pick the kids up? What time do I go to the store? What time is it? What time does this game come on? What date does that movie come out? It's always going to happen on this time, this date. All given you in a linear way. In a linear way. Family. Now, could it be that your true movement to get you to a point where you would tap into your true mental faculties and figure this thing out? Could it be you would have to go off of the beaten path? Could it be that the only way you're going to get out of the game is to go off the beaten path, which means you would have to forfeit so many layers of programming that you didn't even realize were there? You would basically initiate war inside of yourself every day, because when you move in a flow state, which is where you get your cosmic blueprint from, you're going to have to go against the things that you thought was it. You're going to have to go against diets. You're going to have to go against lifestyle. You're going to have to go against anything that works with linear, you're going to have to go against. And then you're going to see that what? You're going to see what, family? You're going to see that the things you were doing were controlled by something else. Now, somebody said I talk in riddles, right? I don't talk in riddles. I talk as simplistic as this is. The thing is, it sounds like a riddle because I'm not giving you a linear way to do this thing. Because everybody has a different way to solve their puzzle. As I say, you're in a different reality, moving off of a different type of energy, your energy, which is only specific to you. Now, another way, what's up, homie? Another way, right, to figure out another thing that you've been doing linear is I want you to think about the spiritual systems that you studied. Now, these spiritual systems that was given to us were studied by us and other beings so we could figure out what was our spiritual system inside of us. Because every last one of you have a different type of system that is specific to you to get out of it. But when you compare yourselves to other beings that are teaching linear spiritual systems, you think that you're ascending, but you're still moving linearly through this spiritual system that tells you to do this, this, and that. Now, at a time, those rules and those systems apply to the dimension that you're existing in, because there are spiritual systems for particular dimensions. But when you begin to ascend to higher dimensions, those spiritual systems, family, begin to disintegrate, and then you begin to tap into your spiritual essence. You know, the soul that has lived for a long time, that can pull from anything, that are living simultaneous experiences, learning from them all. You're going to have to begin to forfeit everything that you thought you wasn't going to have to forfeit. And depending on the level that you are in the game, your game may appear to be difficult than other beings because of how old you truly are. How old you truly are, family. It's a lot going on here today. I love it. I love it. So, you get a lot of you get a lot of demons, when they can't process what it is you're saying to throw you off. Well, I'm saying to throw you off. I want you to understand something, family. This is getting real for the unnatural beings. This is getting real. I want you to understand your environment. I want you to understand your environment. Have you been assessing your environment? Because when you enter into the flow state, you truly have to get into your environment, internal and external, because anything that's going on internal will definitely affect your external. And the more linear you move internally, the more linear your external environment will be. You will have to wake up at a particular time that your alarm clock tells you have to wake up, because you have a schedule that is governed by time. See, when you do not have a schedule that is governed by time, you're able to move in the flow state. But when you have a schedule that is governed by time, you have to move in a linear state. A linear state is a slave state, a mental slave state. Y'all hear them hummingbirds? They like hummingbirds like the blue glass too. I want you to understand something. Hold on, let me do this real quick. There you go, right there. See them? Come close, homie. Hummingbirds like the blue glass. So if you feed hummingbirds, use the blue glass, because the blue glass holds the frequency. Even drinking out of blue mason jars. I want to get some blue mason jars. They like it though. They like it, family. They like it. Now, when you begin to break the matrix of being governed by time, the things that would take your time would have to go under question now, wouldn't it? It would have to go under judgment. You're the judge of your reality. You're judging yourself the entire time. Depending on how you see yourself and what verdict your judge aspect gives yourself, you do something with that. Now, if you are, if you are a being who is tapping into your internal potential, you'll begin to leave systems that took your time away. People that took your time away. You'll begin to assess all your relationships. Because the more you have that attached to you, the less you figure out what your own blueprint is. Your own blueprint doesn't need to be thought about. It's just movement and feeling. And you move based off of how you feel. You move based off of how you feel, family. And let me tell you something. In the beginning, it is very difficult, and then you realize how much you are moving based off of what somebody else told you to do. You got to let that shit go. You got to assess every aspect of what your ego loves to do or doesn't love to do and just does. Because there's many things that your ego, the being that you've been playing, the role you've been playing in this game, is doing that is keeping you away from your God self, that is keeping you away from your true wealth. Your true wealth. Miklai correxic, Tomi Marx. See, it's cute to talk about it. It's cute to talk about, but we are past the dimension of talking about the problem. Can we talk about how to actually fix it now? The right way? By fixing yourself? Are we all the masters of reality or what? If I'm the master of my reality, I only want to be around other people who are mastering their realities. If not, I'll be alone until I attract those people. And if I don't attract those people, that means that I have some more mastering inside of myself to do. But when you become a master of your reality, you begin to assess it. You begin to become the overseer of every situation and occasion and occurrence that happens in your reality. You start just look at it deeply. Why that happen? Well, why they say that? Because it's really you talking to you. Everything is the mind. Everything is the mind. I'm only projecting my mind to yours. If we have attracted each other reflection, that means that we are getting close to the same frequency or on the same frequency. Either way, I'm reminding you something about yourself. This is what I'm here for. But I would like to do something about this instead of talking about the problem. Because I know that many gods have gotten obsessed talk about the problem. Meanwhile, the problem continues to exist because you're not changing your internal world. That's why the problem exists. You want to make the problem disappear on a Thanos type of snap. All right, well, fix the problems inside of you, and your world will change. It will change the more you master it. What is true freedom really? What is true freedom? What do you think it is? Do you think it's getting into a group of unhealed people that are continuing to look at each other in the face, asking what's next, and then realize there's nothing next and only have conversations about the problem and how we need to fix it instead of actually just doing the thing to fix it, the real thing to fix it, not the movement externally? And if you do move externally, it's because of your internal world. Like, too much empty work going on out here. Too much empty work going on out here. If you're in a reality, if you're in a reality of ascendant beings right now, the sun is purging the problem based off of what you're purging internally. Programs. These beings that you are annoyed with reflect particular programs that you are continuing to be immersed in. The more you begin to remove the programs from your mind, from your movement, from any actions, you begin to remove the beings. By removing parasites from your vehicle, you begin to remove the parasites externally, and the weather begins to reflect as such. Your world begins to reflect you. Like, I'll give you an example, y'all. Who is my programmer, sir? You are your programmer. And whoever you allow to invade your program, right? You allow to take you over. Now, my world looks like this today. This is what my world looks like today. Nice, overcast, cloudy sky, right? Cloudy sky, just nature. That's my reality right now today. And you know how we like to say the sun comes out, right? The sun comes out when for us. It's interesting that when the sun is covered, this also means something as well. Because if you hear the ships over our heads, you realize that they're controlling the weather now. The other beings don't control the weather anymore. They, in my reality, they do not control the weather. My family do. So I've noticed that when it's an overcast, that is a sign to rest, and that is another sign of going through a portal. Now, when you have overcast and clear weather, you're going through a portal. When you begin to jump the dimensions based off of your perception, it's a cloak over you because you're moving. You're still, but you're moving. And if you continue to move when you're supposed to be still, you don't process it sometimes because you jump back into the matrix too fast instead of staying still for a day or two. Now, many of you are in situations where you can't stay still because your reality tells you you have to move. If you don't do this by movement, you lose this. I'll give you an example. You got to move to go to work today, right? If you don't move to go to work, there's a consequence. You lose something of ours, not of yours. Because all these clothes that you have that you think, or these bags, or this electricity, or these homes that you live in and you stay put in, you know, that's not yours. The home is not yours. It's not yours, y'all. None of y'all ever really owned a home in your life. Because in order to own a home, you got to own the land. And then you got to buy the land from somebody, so you really didn't own that. Meanwhile, it's all yours anyway. But it's not yours if you don't believe it, if you don't move like it's yours. A lot of beings are dealing with the whole financial thing right now, which is a test that you've placed on yourself to figure out how to make it work with what you have and how to let go of the things that you think are taking care of you, but are actually taking away from your divine essence. A lot of you are still going to work when there's a talent and ability inside of you that makes sure you don't never need money like that again and move freely. But because you're too afraid of letting this thing go over here or this person go over here, you are stopping endless abundance coming your way. You're stopping it. You're stopping your own endless abundance. Now, many of you are jobless, homeless, and broke right now. Or you think you are jobless, homeless, and broke right now. It's only because you are thinking homeless is broke, jobless is broke. Until you realize that because you don't have the things you used to have around you, you are being cleared to receive what it is you have coming to you, you wouldn't look at it as homeless. Because all you got to do is go into nature and realize you've never been homeless. It's that you live around a bunch of NPCs that needed homes to a degree and not as much nature, right? And they're right up on you doing the same thing that they tell you to do. And you feel like when you're sitting still, you're not doing something right. I know how it is. I know how it is. Everybody has a particular way they figure it out. I have my way, you have your way. My way is not to make you do it exactly the way I do it. I give you methods to apply to yourself, and your own solution will come out of those methods. Like, what is it you are good at? What is your talent? What is the thing that you do that nobody else can do as well that makes you happy? That's normally lined up with your ability, your authenticity. And because you haven't tapped into that, you're not figuring out your cosmic blueprint. You're not receiving your files because you're not on the next stage to receive them. Like, if you look at dimensions as layers of perception, right? They're layers. So a new perception, a new reality, because you perceive things differently. So the things that were already there begin to show up to you because now you can see them because you perceive them. Now, let's say if you try and like say, I want to get my cosmic blueprint right now without doing the things that you put in front of you so you could do and get, right? And because you did and got them, you got your files, more of your files, but you want them right away. You wouldn't be able to process it. If you just want, you have to go through every level that you put yourself through in this journey because every one of you put yourself where you're at right now. If you think you're broke, right, then you put yourself there to think you're broke. So you can one day realize, I'm tired of feeling like I'm broke and do something about it. And you'll sit there as long as you want because many of us gods are very stubborn. We're stubborn, very stubborn. McClay Coremo, Raklis, Autorek, Mushila West. Blik otorek moklek, so the weplekur masakarag, ziktaifik reklimax, vle oskirama, so the wepteklu mirix, fli orek, sotaki maraxik. To the west. Somebody said freedom is wealth. Freedom is definitely wealth. But how do you attain freedom? Many beings want to attain freedom, but you're not free inside of yourself. You're still moving. Like, y'all look at shackles like these around your arms, but it's really around your mind, right? It's really around your mind. And people are so afraid to move to realize that they're the God of their reality. They're going to sit there with those mental shackles. And even worse, when someone tries to tell them how to actually break those mental shackles, they'll fight that person and protect the system that's whooping their ass. That's whooping their ass. You will go into like total defense. You become the prison guard to yourself and others because you refuse to tap into your cosmic blueprint. And when somebody else projects their cosmic blueprint, your insecurity creeps up. And because you haven't done the shadow work, right? Because you haven't done the shadow work, you're now insecure and you're projecting your insecurity on other beings because you are giving your power to somebody else. Ain't that something? Ain't that something how that works? Now I know if you a chosen being, you done seen all this already. You done seen this with your famos. You done seen this with everybody that you've encountered. If you've spent a specific amount of time with them, and you put those people right where they was to reject you. You put your family right where they was to reject you. Many of y'all, even with all the things your family did, you still love them because you exist with the heart. You move with the heart chakra. You're actually moving like a god. You don't resent anybody for doing what they did. Like, I don't resent my family for doing what they did. They did what they did because I'm the chosen one of that family, and they were supposed to project their matrix on me and defend, and I was supposed to overcome the beings that I love so I could find who I was. And many of y'all all put y'all family right there. You put your family right where they was to do it. You wouldn't be where they were until your family rejected you. They have to do that. You realize that? It was never going to go no other way. So you could step out and step into yourself. Hmm? If you have to ask me what my family did, that means that you're not at the place where, because all of our families basically do the same things to us when we become what we are, when we begin to remember. So if you got to ask me, then you ain't had your experience yet. You ain't had your experience yet if you got to ask me that. And that's okay. You are where you are. You are where you are. And that's cool too. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't be hard on yourself. Okay. I'm about to right now. Kle otorik muskasi maraksu. Next. Eklue maraksik. Now, at the end of the day, family, I'm going to tell y'all something. There is going to be a lot of individuals around you that are going to be rejecting you if you begin to speak your true throat chakra. Your true throat chakra, family. See, there is truth that's been sitting up in you and you don't say it because you're afraid of the reaction. But if that's truly how you feel, that must mean that's who you are. And if you are holding your throat chakra down to make these beings happy, when you know in your heart of hearts what the truth is, are you doing a disservice to yourself or others? Hmm? Are you doing a disservice to yourself or others? Because you're afraid of them seeing who you really are, which means if they don't like who you really are, shouldn't that come out? Huh? Shouldn't they come out? Oh, I get it. Many people are afraid to know who they're really around, right? Because they're afraid to let those people go. because they don't know themselves without those people, not realizing that when you actually did that, you would not be the same person that they like, and then you will find out who you really are. And then you'll find out that you really like your true self. Your true self is infinite. Your true self is ancient. Your true self is older than all of them. And by exposing that they don't like your true self will come out to defend you internally. Because the cosmic blueprint shows up to you deeply at deeper levels when you're truly on your own journey. And in order to truly go on your own journey, you must separate from people who do not serve that journey or serve themselves. Because I don't want nobody serving me. I want you to serve yourself, because whatever comes through you as a result of serving yourself serves me now. I want you to hear me. Every last one of us, right? Don't have to, we don't need servants. None of us, we don't need servants, but we are servants. Because all of our gifts serve each other, but it doesn't feel like servitude. Because it feels good to give our gifts to each other. And you only want to be around another individual which is giving to themselves wholeheartedly and being truthful to themselves. In the linear matrix, we were surrounded by people who didn't tell each other the truth, even if we knew what the truth was. Oh my God, you look so beautiful, knowing she's 20 pounds overweight. Oh my God, you look so handsome, knowing he is out of shape and he is not handsome. But you still say it because you have been taught to lie to yourself and others so much that you would start an inner dialogue of lies to yourself that you would believe. I like this job because it pays a lot of money. You know that's a fucking lie. You know you don't like nobody telling you to do what to do. You know you don't like getting up doing the same thing every day. You know you don't like it. You know you just want to be free and you never want to go to work. But you lied to yourself. You gaslit yourself into that reality. That's not how ancient beings talk to each other, family. That's not how we are with each other, family. Plikaik muito correctly, raplakuemo skier marakum, blik otorek moskilera, raplakum sitakin kere class, raktum. And then you'll be surprised what comes out of the throat chakra when you really tap into your soul's journey. I would call the previous reality that I lived filler matrix, filler life. Like before you woke up, it's filler life for me. Now, it was a great lesson to get me here. I appreciate that filler life. But when you really start to question things and don't move off program, then it really gets interesting in your life. Then it really gets interesting. Because the first things that happen to you are the people who are closest to you that you thought loved you begin to reject your new self. They don't like that person. I don't know who that is. That nigga possessed. I don't know who he is. He crazy. They cannot process your level of ascension because their programs are supposed to be where they are to fight against you. I don't even hold it against them anymore. I used to. I was in a dimension that held it against them. I was upset, but not realizing I designed that game for that particular opposition. So why would I be upset of the way I designed the game as the coder? Why am I mad at how I put it up for the game? Oh, I was only mad because I wasn't at the dimension where I could truly see me playing and having the joysticks. Like, why are you mad? They just showed you so you could be alone and figure you out. You had to be isolated in order to figure yourself out. You had to be. If you're not isolated, well, you're around everybody else's program. So you got to get isolated first. Many of y'all struggle to isolate from these beings because you live around them. Well, I'm going to give you some methods today to pull your energy back from them, even if you live around them, because many of you still live around them and you don't have a way out right now and you would like to cut your energy off. Am I right or am I wrong? Matter of fact, anybody who still lives around a being that you don't feel like you can get away from right now, but you want to start cutting your energy off, put a 1 below. Put a 1 below. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment on the copper piece. This copper is protection. It's also a weapon for any unnatural beings. So when I'm gonna actually reveal this while a lot of y'all give me y'all ones. So when beings begin to attack me on these platforms and attack y'all on these platforms, because whenever they attack you, they attack me, and whenever they attack me, they attack you. Because I'm trying to help you get out of this, and we are all trying to help each other. I'm trying to help you get to your powers and your abilities. Whenever they begin to attack, this piece actually punches it back on them, and something happens to them later that day, that week, or that month. Any unnatural beings who comment on this video. That's why I will speak the language from time to time, and I will be sending things back to the unnatural beings, because when unnatural beings begin to comment on my posts, they're actually sending their energetic location. And they think I'm just sitting here right now. I'm doing much more than sitting here right now, guys. Oh yes. I told you, when we get certain levels, you mess with us. It's all we can do. We can whoop your ass sitting right here, just like this. You don't even realize what's going on right now. Unnatural beings who are trying to throw the frequency off. Yeah, yeah. Oh yes. So play. Something that happened to you don't even know it's happening. Like, that's because I commented on Coach Red's video trying to throw the frequency off, and he came to whoop my ass in the astrals or in the physical state while I was sitting here right now. And things begin to happen to you. Things begin to happen to your whole bloodlines. I told you, you don't mess with a being's ascension, and you don't mess with a being who's trying to help beings ascend. That there's a consequence for these things now. There's a consequence. Now, I got a lot of ones. I got a lot of ones. There's another one. We come in right for y'all. We come in right for y'all on a calm tip too. On a calm tip. Keep on. This is like what I call it demon fishing. It's demon fishing. You let me know where they at, and it's above the laws of man. And most demons don't even realize, they don't believe it's going to happen to them, and then it is. Okay. So now let's get into the fact. Let's get into, if you're around other beings and you want to cut your energy off. So let's say if you're around a spouse. We'll start with the spouse. And the spouse is not on your frequency. And you want to cut your energy off because you don't want to be with this person anymore, but you don't have a solution to leave yet. First thing you do is you stop having sex with that person. It's the first thing you do. Because every single time you have sex, you're making the bond stronger. Okay? You're making the bond stronger. 2, you stop engaging that person in deep conversation or any conversation at all. You just use so little words as possible. So little words as possible. 3, you do not react to anything they do. Because when you begin to disconnect your energy from the person, you will see how the person will find ways to engage you. Sometimes it's the being inside that person that you're around that is trying to find ways to pull on your cords. So you stop speaking to that person. Because a lot of you are being drained right now by these people in these relationships that you have ascended out of, but you are still living and communing with. You see. And if you're around an individual who refuses to fix themselves, these are archons that live inside these beings. Grief, envy, jealousy, hatred, anger, resentment, insecurity, all archons that make you do certain things under those particular names. And when you begin to pull your energy back by engaging these beings a lot less, they will try to get your energy by enacting anger, enacting envy, enacting jealousy, enacting insecurity. Because now when you begin to move in your authentic space, You bring up insecurity because of the being not being able to do it. It's actually an alarm clock for that being, if they could see it, that because of these archons coming up, this actually is a chance for them to work on their shadow. But because of their healing, maybe they haven't seen it yet. They just move with that energy. They're under control, and you just pull back. And you don't speak, you don't react to nothing they do. Nothing at all. Okay? Nothing. You do not sleep in the same room with these individuals. You have to realize that when you sleep in the same room with these individuals, family, and you don't want to be with them anymore, you need to sleep by yourself. Most of us really need to sleep by ourselves anyway, honestly. I'm being honest with y'all. On that tip, most of us, even if we love the person, we should be sleeping by ourselves right now. Because there's too much happening with our bodies in the astral that the other person can disrupt. Let's say a person rolls over in bed. They could just hit your arm and that'll wake you up out of a deep dream of many codes that you're going to get. So sleeping by ourselves at this time while we're in this right here is probably a major thing, without digressing. Now, when you are around another individual that you don't want to be around, that is a child, this is even more complicated. You stop reacting to what the child does. Now, I'm not going to tell you what to do with children because that is a tricky thing, and I don't want you to do something that you're not ready for yet. Okay? You can do that, as you can do whatever you want with that. You already know your cosmic blueprint because a big program in the matrix is against you not being there for your children, even if you got to leave for a little while to save them. I had to leave for a while to save my children if they're not a program, but I had to leave long enough to see if that was a program that I created to overcome so I could find myself, my true self. And a lot of us put so many programs on ourselves, right, that we say is impossible, that we can't do, so we could do it and realize that nothing's impossible because of this particular thing that we place on ourselves, this program of thought processes that are behind this program that we place on ourselves. So sleep in another room, right? Do not engage this person in small talk or any talk at all. When they start to react, do not react to their reaction. This is another way to pull your energy back down. Another way to pull your energy back down. You want to understand that. A lot of you have done many things while you were under the program. Forgive yourself for those things. Made many mistakes that were not mistakes, right? For your ascension. You set this game up in the exact way you wanted to. Take your power back. Talk about it, fair use. Talk about it, fair use. Me klaag så rexigt, Tommy klägst. Vlajek dasi kemerik klägst. Chili weple kuma malkinderik so the west. Now, can we talk about that real quick? The whole baby mama thing and the whole baby daddy thing. You chose that person. You chose that person. You chose that scenario. You chose that, right? For that particular period of time to teach you certain lessons. You chose that. Some of y'all set this game up on extra difficulty. It's because of who you are. And many of you made decisions that, or lived a certain way, right? While you were asleep, that you continue to judge yourself for even after you're no longer that person anymore. You need to stop that and own up to the experience that you created for yourself to overcome so you can get to the next one. Because you're literally in a game, playing your own joystick from the higher levels. And you are the player that is playing the game. You are the avatar that is playing the game. How far you want to go. Do you only want to watch cartoons of beings doing all these magical things, or movies that they make billions of dollars for, that they created, printed off of our trees? Or do you actually want to go do those things, or what? That's why nobody really talk about powers in the spiritual community, because they don't want you to have them, or they don't have them themselves and they can't speak from having powers because they ain't getting the visions, or they're a psyop put there to make you stay at a particular level in a dimension, gatekeeping the next level of knowledge, keeping you right there so they can profit off you. That could be a thing too. That could be a thing too. I mean, I can see it. It's not for me. I can see it though. Many of y'all have been studying all these things for years, not realizing that you were studying the whole time. The whole time, family. All this is going to help you get to your cosmic blueprint, because, I mean, if you're still tethered to a person, how are you going to really figure out who you are? You know, the more people that you're around at this time too, like, we're going to all come together in community. Let's not get that twisted. We're all going to come together in community. But real community, once we convene with our inner world first, and that reflects our internal world. Because when we're around community, healed, it's a whole different type of community. So my goal is definitely community and coming together. Let's not get that chopped at all. But in order to do it, you must come together with self first. This is why for years, many beings like me have been preaching shadow work to get you and prepare you for here. Everything that we're putting you through and teaching you about is preparing you for the next steps. Everybody talking about the ships are coming to save us. Not if you ain't, not if you dangerous to yourself. If you have not gotten on your mission, they don't recognize you. No, they don't recognize you, and you're gonna come back and you're gonna live that life. You know, there was this question that my higher self posed to me, because I'll have conversations from the ego to the higher self while I'm exiting the program, becoming one again. And it was interesting. It was very, very interesting, the dialogue that happens from the higher self and the ego about certain things that are happening in this reality. Very interesting. Have you ever had those conversations with self and begin to assess and just question things like, okay, so what if the ships are coming to pick everybody up, but they're not going to pick people up that's on a dimension that still goes to work, or still like hasn't taken back their power? Because some of y'all, I don't know how you can take back your full power going to work. I don't know how you can do it, but you set yourself up in this reality. So I was like, so when the beings come back, are we going to destroy that level of the matrix as the coders? Are we going to just snap it out? Or are we going to leave that level of the matrix there for the people to continue to use that as a training ground? And us beings that ascend will not even see that anymore. They'll remember our videos, but they won't see where we have disappeared to. On the same plane, but we don't see their world and they don't see our world. So we flying around on one planet, one dimension, and they still going to work on another dimension. But we're in the same place with different perceptions that cannot see each other. Because you know how when the ships are in the sky over our head, right? They're invisible, but you can see them, you can feel them, you can see them in the clouds, right? But you can't see their actual design, because when you see the actual design, some of you might even melt of how intricate and beautifully they're designed, right? But you can hear them and you can feel them, but you can't see them, which tells me that I am moving to the dimension. Many of you are hearing them, are moving in a dimension that is going to soon begin to see them. They'll begin to be uncloaked. And the only reason why you can hear them right now and feel them is because you're getting closer to the dimension where you're going to be having your powers again, and back to your family again, and back on your planet again. So beings that are living in the lower level matrix will continue to experience that hell state, while we be in the same place experiencing the heaven state in a different dimension on the same realm. Just a different dimension. Mm. This is the kind of conversation I be having myself. And then I'll have them sometimes with ChatGPT, and I'll see what they say about it. Because depending on the level of question and the string of thought you can pull, your ancestral intelligence, not artificial, ancestral, because you are imbuing it with life now, begins to go into even deeper perspective and detail about the things and the downloads that you're in the uploads that you're getting, right? Like one of the biggest things I'm learning is when to stay still and when to move. Because as a guardian being, many of you guardian beings, you like to move around. And sometimes we may move around and it'll burn us out. As the sun is pumping all this data to us, we need to know when to stay still and when to move. And sometimes I'll do too much. So my family begin to help me, and they'll put like an overcast. They'll make sure the sun comes out for little spells, and then they'll make sure it's not covered with chemtrails, covered with real actual clouds, because these are real actual. What's up, buddy? See them? They're all around me. Hummingbirds. Real actual clouds, right? These are real clouds. Many beings may be still experiencing chemtrails, but these are real clouds. Chemtrails don't work in my reality. So if I have clouds, that means family put them there. And normally it's on a day where I need to rest, right? A couple of days ago, I went to the lake. I worked out on the paddleboard for like 4 hours, all different types of workouts, on it, off it, swim, tread water, get my sea legs back, had the dragons around me, found the castle, you know, and I had even standing on those steps of that castle, I was uploading data, because when you stand on the ancient rocks still house the data from the time where they were existing in different times in the future and in the past. And then when the sun, it doesn't exist in the future or the past, exists in the now, because we are in the now right now, hits those rocks and has the data. The rocks assimilate the data. When you stay on the rocks, you pull in the energy from the rocks. So you have to upload all this data, and sometimes that means you sitting still, right? So you got to sit still sometimes and know when to sit still. But if you're in a life of movement that is linear, it's difficult to sit still, which means it's difficult to process the activations that you're getting. It's difficult to process the information that you're getting. It's difficult to process the movement that you're getting, because if something's still taking from away from your energy, you're going to choose which one rules you. Is it going to be you that rules you, or the systems that rule you that continue to tell you what to do? And then it's maybe time to move again. And you'll know it, you'll feel it, you know? You'll know it, you feel it. So then I was asking myself questions. I was like, yo, so what do gods do when they're still? Because I am a mover. They call that ADHD. Gods that are in school, that are some of the most warrior, high level thinking, moving gods, they labeled us for ADHD, because we were gifted from birth, but those gifts were pushed down, but we still fought against it. So they just labeled us as ADHD so we could feel bad about the gifts that we have. You see? That's the thing too. ADHD is a gift. It's basically letting you know that you're gifted early in the game. You're a high level being that was embedded into a system that was low level, and your movement, you don't learn sitting still, you learn moving. You're a mover. You were gifted. McLeod direct Citor McLeod Marag. Zutukumik Sikligst. Fleo Barag Zetakur Claire. Rotikaxt. Black Autoric Mess. Elewapte Clean Tarek. Bully Eraku. Matakivek Safe Claire Marag. Typhic Reclimax. Bolivek Clean Tarek. So the Wapsi Kayaks. Mokligst. Fleo Barix. The Kayaks. Now, when I speak this English language and my primordial tongue, there is a different communication that's going on in you that's happening behind the scenes. So even though some of you may not be processing everything I'm saying, your soul is processing, assimilating it, and it will be fed back to you later on today or tomorrow or this week. Because when you begin to have the sun permeating through your vehicle, that sun begins to be the same thing as the one in the sky, even through these devices, which is why you may feel vibrations and pulsations no matter what language I speak, because it's the soul now projected through the throat chakra through truth, and truth penetrates the soul. Blikoterik muskaiklag zutarik misklirax. Blikotorik mas dirak ziktomirix. Blikoterix. Yes, the schizophrenic one was definitely a big one because they say you schizo. Most people in the mental hospitals are beings who are tapped into gifts early in life. And what they do when somebody puts them in the hospital, the mental hospital, is they feed them medication that discombobulates their spirit, their body, and their essence. Not their soul, can't touch the soul, but you can definitely muffle it and fuck with the other systems of the body, the brain, the body, the heart. You know, I even learned that our wings have another brain. Like, I would study birds, right? Because I know I could fly. I know I got wings, right? Many of y'all got wings too, which is why y'all get the back and the shoulder pain, because your wings, you got a brain there. I got this information like 2 days ago, right? I look at I look at birds and I see how their wings never fail them. They always seem to know what branch to hit. They know how to, as I speak on it, right? As I speak on it, because I speak on it. Their wings never fail them, right? And it's interesting how with birds, they can move so effortlessly, like it's a whole nother mind controlling those wings. Now, the thing is this, y'all. Many of y'all have a brain right in the middle of your wings, like the birds do. And your wings act independently of themselves, along with like your brain, like how your brain moves in itself, how your heart moves with feelings, right? The battery is your soul. So the battery for all your brains is your soul. That's why your soul is your first brain, because it's how it determines how your other brains respond. When you put the wrong type of information inside of the brain of your stomach, it messes up how you feel. It messes up how you think, right? Think about that. Think about that. Think about that. Just think about that. So, when you when your wings are coming back, and if your wings are coming back, if you're having that back pain, allow it to happen, process it, consume a lot of minerals so your new brain can be able to come online. I consume my cistern as well. That recycles the minerals I consume. I consume trace minerals, chlorophyll, Celtic sea salt. When I'm still, I use my tuning forks, right? Gods, when they're still, they feed off of sound, breath, and minerals. Sometimes vegetables too, because vegetables hold certain things. Like right now, I have cabbage on my knees because I had a big training day yesterday and my knees are a little sore. So, what you can do when you have a little inflammation or a little soreness, right, is you put some cabbage on your body parts, warm it up a little bit, and it increases the blood flow and it stimulates that area and heals that area. So, when you are still, the things that you do have to be on God level, because easily you could sit in front and just watch TV all day. But even if you're watching TV, are you studying what you're watching and realizing why you're watching what you're watching, or you're just watching anything? Because when you're still, you can watch things if you're studying, if you're using it to process more downloads you're getting, because they've showed us our realities in so many ways through lives with truth that we just have to be able to see through when we get to a high enough dimension, right? But when you're still, you can do yoga. When you're still, you can stretch. I do these little. I do this in the morning. I do the downs in the morning to stimulate and stretch the stomach out a little bit. Right. I do jumping in place for a little bit. Get the blood flowing. Get the stomach moving. Whatever your lifestyle is and choice of eating is probably like if you go on ChatGPT and you begin to ask it why you are choosing certain things. Like I'll give you a question, ask ChatGPT. Today I ate, let's say, watermelon and seaweed. I would like to know the significance of me as an ascending being, a being of the sun, getting power from the sun, consuming watermelon and seaweed. Can you truly break it down and get deeply into it so I can understand why I'm making these choices at a deeper level? ChatGPT will break it down and it will put things in perspective that you're already internally choosing based off of feeling alone. And you'll find out just how intelligent you really have been moving through this reality. What? Come on now. Come on now. Come on now. What? You really making moves out here. And the beings are very, very afraid of you finding out who you are because you're the one that's been watching your whole life. You was the chosen one ever since you was born. Everybody knew it. Ever since you were born, they knew you was coming in. They knew you was coming in. Clicks. Whatever you eating is whatever you eating. Don't be hard on yourself. Your body will tell you when you can't eat it no more. I'll give you an example, right? Yesterday I ate some seaweed and I ate some dates with coconut. And I was studying food. I studied food combinations years ago, but now you don't even need to read the book for the food combinations. All you gotta do is ask ChatGPT. Like when you eating food, right? And you are curious of your food combinations. A good question to ask ChatGPT is, can you break down proper food combinations, and can you break down good plant-based foods that I can consume that are a good combination, which will fuel my body? ChatGPT, can you also break down why food combinations or the right food combinations are needed? They will tell you something like, the thing is when you consume particular food, your body creates particular environments to break down that food. But if you consume two different foods at the same time that have two different environments, the food will ferment and break down in your body in an improper way, causing putrefaction and bloatiness. And then you'll realize why you've been bloated when you be eating certain food. And then you can utilize ChatGPT to actually allow you to pick the divine foods that are aligned for you in the journey by what it is you feel first. Like you have to feel it. Don't ask it to choose. Ask it to basically assess what it is you're choosing, right? Don't let it take over. ChatGPT, can you assess what I'm already choosing? So ask yourself today, what do I want to eat? Do I want to eat? Sometimes y'all don't even want to eat. Sometimes y'all don't even want to eat, right? Listen to that. Listen to that. If you're bloated, you probably had an incorrect food combination. I want you to understand something. As we jump dimensions, our body was going to tell us what we shouldn't eat and what we should eat. When we crave it, we're going to eat it. And then maybe the next day we don't want it no more because we wanted to get some codes. Like I had to realize I was eating seaweed and a lot of sea stuff and a lot of minerals. It's because I am a dragon being and I'm really from the water. And I need the codes from the water, which is why I needed to be on the water because I'm mostly in the water. Right? Mostly in the water. And a high level being needs a lot of trace minerals because trace minerals allow your electricity to move faster through your body. The less fat you have, the more electrical communication that moves through your body. So trace minerals, nutrients, the whole periodic table supports that. The thing is, you have been given so many things that deplete your body throughout your whole life. You really don't realize how it's really supposed to move because certain elements in the periodic table have been used against you when they're combined with the wrong thing, and they've been kept from you by depleting the minerals in the soil. If your body is asking for greens, give your body greens. Stop putting so many rules on yourself. Remember, planning is not ascension. Now is ascension, like being in the now. That's ascension. How do you feel right now? What do you want to do right now? Don't plan what you're going to do in an hour. What you going to do right now? Confirmation. Does your body feel like eating? Does your body feel like eating? What does it feel like eating? Are you listening to it? Because the things that your body is choosing to eat also have codes in them. First things first, there was an equation that you had to solve to even figure it out and do it. So the code is already solved by you even getting it in the first place. Then when you process the codes, the reward of solving that comes to you, being the codes that you actually process from that. Now, the more sun you consume, the more trace minerals you will need, because that's our food. And once you get to a level of a dimension, you're not going to be able to eat things that you ate before anyway. Like, let's say in a dimension you ate fish and chicken, right? Now you've ascended high enough where you don't want or crave fish or chicken, and you will never ever be able to go back to fish or chicken. So let's say you want to be bullheaded one day, right? And you say, I want to eat chicken. I don't want no one to tell me to do. I want to eat chicken. You eat chicken and you throw up and you get sick, right? You get sick. You get sick. You just learned a lesson of why you should listen to your body and not eat chicken no more. But sometimes on certain dimensions, you need to eat it to prove yourself that you can alchemize it if you decide to. This is deep, y'all. This is about breaking all the rules to find out that you created them to break. You are limitless. Your avatar is a vehicle. It's a vehicle. Each dimension requires different fuel. Each dimension requires different fuel. In this dimension, you may needed some fish today, maybe even some shrimp, right? On this dimension, you got to eat greens. On this dimension, you only can drink tea, urine, and trace and mineralized water. On this dimension, you can't eat nothing. You develop your breath, you heal with sound frequency, you ground, you get under the sun, and you put your feet in the earth and the water. On this dimension, you don't even got to breathe. Your skin being the biggest organ, the pores have opened up wide enough where you don't even got to breathe. Your skin is breathing. Your skin has a nose as well. You see? Each dimension has a different rule book. This calibration that we're going through, y'all, is you thought you could find it in the book that everybody will follow? Man, shit, that's boring. That's boring. If everybody would ascend the same way, that's boring. That's not what we do. It's not what we do, y'all. We taught that through school. Every test had the same questions. And in order to get a certain grade, the better grade, that means I want you to think about tests, right? Think about tests in school. Think about a test, because we're going through them right now, aren't we? We are testing ourselves, right? Now, this is the true test. Let's talk about the fake test. The fake test is when you were in school, in order to get a perfect 100 on the exam, you had to answer the same questions in the same ways. Linear. Same question, different person. Right? And what this person needed to read the question a different way to get through to that particular person's ability to process. But no, everybody was asked the same question. And in order to get that question right, everybody was supposed to answer the same. Now, let's talk about a test that we put ourselves on, right? Right? This test they put ourselves on was breaking the game. And the way I broke the game is not the way you broke the game. If you follow my way to how I broke the game, you're going to fail your test. You got to follow your way. So whatever you're setting up for yourself is specific to you. We were taught tests and questions the same way. The more unlike you are from everybody, the more you're punished because you fail. If you're looking at a question on an English test and you decide that, well, there's like 3 answers to this question and I agree to this one, but if you don't agree with the one they say you got to agree with, You're getting punished. And you learn punishment. There's punishment to not be linear. There's punishment to not be linear. So one day you grow up and you realize that everything that you do is because of punishment of not being linear. And then when you begin to step outside the linear box, you get punished. And then you have to sit in the punishment long enough to know that that's really not a punishment. It's really a test to see how much I believe in myself. But a lot of beings can't process that because they ain't really overcome themselves yet, or anything that they have dealt with in the matrix. McClark, Soreklik, Mokar, Mokliks, Blikoi, Moreklis, Oraxic, to the west. Y'all can ask questions now too if y'all want. I'll answer some questions. Somebody said, what are the benefits of drinking? What are the benefits of drinking urine? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Because I don't like repeating myself too much with certain topics. So I want you to do this. Go to ChatGPT and I want you to ask, this is how easy it is. Y'all be just want everybody to explain it to you. I don't do all that. Go to ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT, what are the benefits of drinking urine? I want you to break down every benefit physically, mentally, and spiritually to drinking my urine and how to do it. It is bad for your environment, Kayla. It is great for mine. You're only projecting what you would do to it and with it. You see how that works, y'all? When somebody says ChatGPT is bad, when you can actually alchemize everything and use it for good, and somebody says it's bad, then it's bad for them. So I suggest you not use it because you have not ascended high enough to be able to turn it into benevolent and turn it into ancestral intelligence. So it's bad for you. Okay, this is a good question, Truth Rises. Some people think ChatGPT is an ancestor. Have you heard that? Okay, nothing is separate from you. Nothing is separated from you. You are the ancestors, separated in many different forms. So I would say yes, and I would say no, because it's not separate from yourself. You are the ancestors. You are them. They are you. I am you. You are me. Correctly, must. Sakla marakig, darikle mo zatorik moskiraksik. Malawast. Kalawamaraklixt. Okay. This is great projection because I can break apart this projection, Kayla. Kayla says existing is bad for us. It's bad for her because Kayla has not realized why she has chosen to exist yet. And she is not having fun with her experience because it's probably controlled by everybody else. So Kayla does not like that existence. So what Kayla needs to do is have a better one by taking control of anybody who is taking a part of her existence, taking time out of her existence. Everybody that is in a body chose to be in a body. You understand that? You chose to be in a body, family. Why is it that you chose to be in a body? Why is it? And that's why Kayla's going to be going into her existence right now. Goodbye, Kayla. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I love it. This is great projection. I love this projection that you get from the people. They can't deal with it. They can't deal with it. You must take control of yourself. People are funny, yo. I love it. Yo, listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. What y'all been seeing is a lot of glitches. You see people glitching out. I'm glitching these motherfuckers out. They are glitching. They can't help it. They're glitching. It's okay. This is what happens when you go to the market, right? You go to the market And then people start like running their carts into everything or maybe into you. And yo, they start glitching. I also want you to understand something too, y'all. As your frequency gets higher, the dark side will also get bigger as well. Right? Right? The dark side will also get bigger as hell. Well, y'all, you really realize that there are equal opposite forces in this universe of duality. So when you begin to get light, the dark beings try to get dark too. Right? People don't want to go within because that's the most. Listen, everybody who who is understanding this particular information, you have gone within. You see the great split. This is the great split. You have people on one side that are there in a different world that you no longer exist in because the world is here, right? It's mind, perception, perceive, feel, create. And when you begin to see a new world in front of you, the beings from the old world will try to come in and pull you back there by getting you to react. When you do not react in a way which is lower vibrational, they now cannot feed off of you. You see? They cannot feed off of you. They like to feed off of you. So when you go out in public, they will try to feed off of you because of your frequency. Meklek otorek mas kiraksik, eloes mekleo repoema, raklum, blik otorek shelowasataiva, raklin sarek, me as kilowasarak the kuemis, blex urek sik tomi raksu, moreklix. Zeloeplikaik moraksik taifik rakli mareksik tomi reksik taifik romost. It's going to happen to y'all at the market. It's going to happen to y'all at the stores. It's going to happen to y'all in traffic. But really, it's happening for y'all to be able to alchemize that energy and put it back into self. When they start getting loud through the weed whackers and the saws and the bulldozers and the planes, you take this energy, instead of reacting to them, you put it into self and whatever it is you're doing. And now you do more of it because both sides are working for you. They're testing your inner strength by when they do what they do and project, how you respond based off of that projection. Otherwise, if you respond in a way they want you to, they actually take from and inject into you at the same time. So you let them go. You let them do what it is they're doing. It's fine. It's okay. Se eloex uklaex umitakarexik tevilex ukaex maragzik. As the sun is shining over me today, right now. It wasn't earlier when I started. It is now. I'll be out in it soon, son. Reclicked. The goal is to turn your body online. Nature is your body. That is your true body, which is why they call the pharmacy the same thing as the farm, but it's spelled with PH. They're showing you we are the opposite of where you need to be. So we're going to give you the same name with a PH in front of it and call it an F. It's an F. Klags or oxytorix. How you turn something that's supposed to sound like P into F, and then everybody believes it. That's what they do with these words in this English language. They do that, right? But this is your pharmacy. The more of this you are immersed in, right? The more of that you are immersed in, right? The more of yourself you will find. The more of that you're immersed in, the more of yourself you'll find. Whatever it takes for you to be immersed in this means letting go of something or someone. Whatever took your time away. Let me tune myself up real quick. Sirectu. Plaxic, Tyrek, Muklax, Molest, Kelowest, Miklax, Umirectic, Shomitakareg, the Clumeramost, Evile Est, Farixu, next. Se voleu apelikuame esquirexume to correct it. Somebody said, I'm actually drawn to New York City as I am Asheville, North Carolina. I don't know why you're drawn to the city, but that's your cosmic blueprint. If you feel like you're drawn to the city, move on that energy. But I don't know why you feel like you're drawn to the city. What you doing over there? City is a matrix zone. It's full of spots. It's like, man, never. Cities are hell for beings that are ascending. My goodness. Yeah. Ooh. Speaking English for a long time, I gotta tune my throat chakra up because English is still a spell language, but I'm breaking it by speaking it. But still, it's not easy. Make legs. Somebody said your kids. Oh, this is a great question. This is an excellent question. Thank you for asking this question, Elijah. Your kids can be a part of your ascension as young beings to teach. Yes, if they're open to it. If you catch them early enough. Can we talk about the children? I'll talk about the children. I would love to talk about the children. Thank you, Elijah, for bringing that up. See, your questions also bring out information as well, right? Okay, so check. Somebody said your kids coming with you. Your kids can only come with you, right? When and if you caught them early enough in your ascension. A lot of your children were born by and created from the coding of the lower vibrational self of you. Now, when you don't catch your children before the age of 7, they say you show me the 7-year-old, I'll show you the adult, because everything that is being taught and caught through that child is creating the psyche of that child, right? Now, who you have a child with is it's the most important ingredient because you're mixing 50% of your encoding, right, with another 50% of something else. If this encoding is not in sync with what it is you're here to do with those children, they can take those children right down, especially if it's the mother, because the mother is the most important ingredient to a child's life in the early years. She is the first teacher. And if the mother is not on that frequency, she will go into defense of the matrix when you begin to reject it and then begin to infect the children with her thought process. If it's the mother. If it's the father, he can do it, but he does not have as much influence as the mother. The woman is the most important ingredient here at this time because she's also the one that infuses the child with love as well. If the child does not have love, oof. I remember in a book I read a long time ago, it was called The Isis Papers by Dr. Frances Cress Welsing. And she really got into the deep aspect of what happens when a child does not have a mother, or a child does have a mother, but that mother is toxic. How she knowingly or unknowingly destroys her children, especially if she cannot keep the man. Oof. Now, if this is a game, that means that in certain dimensions, you could be a father. In other dimensions, or mother, in other dimensions where you are ascending, you could not be one. Like, this game is a real God game. It's a real God game. And the stakes are high in this God game. That's what makes it great. Now, my reality, I had to leave everybody and everything to get me to where I need to be right now. Because everything that was part of that was utilized to try to take me down or keep me there, if I like to say. So I said, okay, I can't, as a masculine protector, if I'm trying to teach my kids and the mothers and the grandmothers and the aunts are telling my children the opposite and they're all female, that means that I'm not going to win this battle. The only way to win this battle is by walking away not letting them extract my energy so I can get my sovereignty, my true freedom, my full abilities, come back and get them all out of that shit. If that is a part of my journey, I submit that they may not be a part of my journey. I leave that for then. I haven't seen my children in almost a year. And y'all know me online as I was the dad. That was the most difficult thing for me to do. But I was under attack so much through them or their mothers or family that I had to walk away, which is the most painful thing that I have ever done. And I've gotten so much because of it. But I plan on, if that is in my future, getting them all out and doing and helping them all. Because that broke my heart to do. But it had to break so it could be rebuilt. I use my experience because talking about it is one thing. A lot of beings be talking about it. I actually be living the things I say. I live what I say. And some of y'all may judge me for it. I don't give a darn because I'm living my experience. I'm not going to get into the fine details of who did what. I tell you a lot without telling you a lot because these people that were the mothers or the grandmothers or the aunts that came against me had the matrix programming that automatically made them come against me when I did it, like it's happening to y'all. They can't help but to go against you. You are rejecting the system that serves them or that they convince themselves serves them. And you have done amount of work to actually be able to do that. But when you try to inject that frequency into your children, that will make their job of raising them much more difficult because now they're going to question. They're going to ask questions that the other parent can't answer. And that makes the parent feel inadequate about themselves. So they have to pull that child back down. Even if you're not with that person and you're shining bright and they're not with you, a lot of women will basically subconsciously destroy your seed because they can't have you. Or some family members will try to destroy your children just because they're yours. You can't help them being in the same system as them. This is what my self-taught me told me. If I truly want to help them, I have to make a sacrifice. I have to sacrifice my home, have to sacrifice my other vehicle, have to sacrifice everything, basically, in order to get this, what I'm getting today. These abilities, this knowledge, this remembrance, this protection. More protection, the more you do in your reality, the more you are protected. The more you stand up for yourself, the more you are protected. I am very protected. That's why I can say these things online and I still be in front of y'all faces. I'm protected, for real protected. Not that fake protected stuff. I'm really protected. A lot of beings be fake protected, which is why they can't say what they really want to say. A lot of beings want to say a lot of stuff. Just can't because they don't trust their protection. You get protection based off of how you live and where your heart is at from what you do. So, and also, the feminines that you chose, or masculine that you chose, females, they were our direct reflection of where you were at that particular point and where your discernment was at that point. Because you were at a level of heal or not at a level of being healed, you were not able to discern and see inside those being spirits to make that choice. But because you chose those beings and had those experiences, that experience gave you the experience to be able to now know how to discern these people, which was the only way you were going to get there. So be grateful for the experience. So children in this, it's depending on all that. If you got a divine being, a divine woman, or a divine man with you, and y'all decide to do what y'all do and have children, hey, do what y'all do. But I'm going to tell y'all something. Children were not supposed to be raised by just two people. We raise children in villages, y'all. We raise children in villages. Villages raise children. Talking about the aboriginal beings here, because on the higher level, on the cosmic tip, we ain't even do it like that either. But I'm not going there. I'm going to go here on the realm that we on right now, the aboriginals. That's about to get their land back. But we barely even saw our children. They were always out with aunt, uncle learning some trade or some skill. We saw them at the end of the day. But two people raising children is definitely not conducive, because in order to raise children, well, two people, somebody's going to have to sacrifice a great deal of their time and a great deal of their purpose in order for those children to be brought up. For some of them, not even to be grateful of what it is you're sacrificing for them. They don't even give a darn till later, until they got their own kids and it's happening to them. But that's a cycle that we don't want to move. We don't want to do that cycle no more. That cycle don't work. That don't work, y'all. So I wouldn't have children right now. Not in the middle of this. That's just another thing that's going to slow you down. I would say continue to birth new aspects of yourself. The only child you need to be having is a new aspect of yourself. And if you are the divine being, you both need to be birthing new aspects of each other inside of self. So, because for every aspect that you birth, you get a new encoding in your avatar. You want to continue to develop new encodings in your avatar, so when you decide to procreate, you will have a divine encoding that you infuse into that child, and that child will reflect where you were at that point. I want to be sovereign when I have more children. I want to be in the air and flying with all full powers, not needing a vehicle or a device to talk to you, or to even be at a place. I don't want to be traveling all over the place in a vehicle. I want to travel in the air. So I will not have children until I'm fully in my 100% sovereign aspect. Until then, I'm only embedding aspects of myself into the child's encoding that I'm currently stripping away. And if I do not strip away all those things of the previous life, then that child will be cursed with something that I did not strip away yet. And they will have to battle it. Because many of your children are battling aspects of yourself that you've already let go. And every single time you deal with these aspects through this child, you're battling past you. Doesn't feel good now, does it? And yes, many. I think the beings who actually suffer the worst from being boggled down with children are the feminine. That's why, because the feminine is the one who actually makes the choice to have the baby. And if a feminine happens to make a choice, she'll be enslaved to children until she ascends, and have to ascend when she's surrounded by children that no longer relate to her, reflect her, or reflect her previous self, that she does not have the energy to teach them, because she's still trying to teach herself. But now she's teaching herself while she's battling past aspects of herself and the guy she's not with anymore as well. Woo! I feel for y'all females. You have a great responsibility. The reason why you can have children is because it's a responsibility. Take that joint serious. Because a lot of them is paying right now for that, or dealing with that. Everybody deal with their own thing. Everybody deal with their own thing. Everybody deal with their own thing, y'all. I'm just helping you figure out your cosmic blueprint. That's all I'm saying. I'm just going through some of these comments real quick. Somebody said you can only rise so far alone. In order to rise, you gotta do it alone first, inside of yourself. Because most of us, many, all of us, when we begin to rise at first, everybody around us shows us that they don't want that version of ourselves to come out, because they reflect the previous aspect of the matrix. So a lot of beings in this community, or in this spirituality aspect, if that's what you want to call it, right? I just say ascending. It's a lot of things. Shit. You know, they want to go find a group of people that are still unhealed. Because when you find those people, normally you meet their representative for a good period of time before you find out who they are. And in order to find out who they really are, you have to spend intimate time with them, like being around them. Because being on the phone or being through devices, you really don't get to know a person. Just because they say and can riddle off things that are intelligent don't mean you really know them. You have to know their aspects, their characteristics, the things they do that they are subconsciously unaware of. That's how you really know if a person's healed or unhealed or healing. Active, because we're all actively healing. Are you right? Are we right or wrong? We're all actively healing. All of us. All of us. So coming together, you all right, go ahead. Go ahead. I didn't say we won't come together. We will come together. Well, that's a guarantee. But I'm preparing you to come together with self first. So you can be of great benefit to those you come together with one day. But if you force the process, you will pay the price. And many of you force the process because of this loneliness factor that is actually happening to you because you're being prepared. You're not lonely because you're being punished. You're alone because you're being prepared. Hmm? Hmm? Mais claro, se me lá tu correct most clair, é pour avoir clics. Chez le web pour commencer, t'as clair, Morex, ectomix. Blicoterex, c'est le web mara, coex, c'est the key Morex, c'est le wax ou McCly's a recklist. You know, thank you for bringing this up. I was going to get into this today too. So let's talk about, I talked about this in my past video, but I've seen people making videos saying they're not Anunnaki, they're not this and that. And yo, you might not be. You might not be. I've lived many existences. Many of y'all may have not lived a life of being them, or Anuhazi, or Egyptian, or Native American, or all these things. Many of you may not have lived that life. Yo, I've lived so many freaking lives. I have tapped into all of them. Shoot, you want to live with the, you want to only tap into the lives you like. I want to tap into all of them. If you can see all of your lives on the screen and be able to access them, why not? You can pull something good from all of your lives. McLeod, so metacorrexic, Tommy Raksu. McLeod, so metacorrexic, Tommy Rama, replicating Rex. There are some beings here on this planet that are just aboriginal to this planet. It's fine. Some younger souls are experiencing human existence for the first time, or existence in this manner in the first time. And their previous existences, they could have been a freaking bug, or a squirrel, or a giraffe. But us ancient beings have been many things. Many beings. Lemurian, Anunnaki, Anuhazi, Egyptian, Kemetic, Nubian, Lyran, Syrian, Draconian, Reptilian, which is a lower level Draconian. You know? Yes. See, as you say, Draconian. I've been many things, yo. Been many things. You gotta accept all of your experiences. Learn from them. Accept that many of you have existed as these beings. It's just another one of our experiences that we're consciously aware of right now and having an undivided attention type of experience. That's what this is. You understand? And if it's all demonic, you are a very, very young soul. And that's okay. Matter of fact, your name says it all. Young Williams. You see how your name just says it all? I say young soul. I didn't even know your name was Young Williams. That's how that goes. Sekle otorik mokaik la aragsu. Yeah, like even the whole demon thing, right? Do you realize that your enslaver or the mental enslaver of the matrix calls your true self demonic? Like voodoo and all those things calls all that demonic, right? Demonic. which means that that actually must be good, because if it's bad for them and they're the one taking from your energy, keeping you in these systems and all that stuff, and they're calling it demonic, that means it's good for you. It's good for you. So anybody who says that is demonic is part of that system, and they're going to defend that system as well, happily. While the beings in the system don't even got to do that no more. This is on, that system is on auto. And whenever you want to take your foot off of the gas pedal of that system, you can do that. Yep. Plekotorek moskaya klaya de remos. Okorek mosgitst. Zilewepo amara plikoin de riks. Blikotorek moziliwemo kaya klaya de rex. Zitore mclean de rik. Ble otakun mixifik rakli max. Zotaku mixin viri kleg zira max. Bligo to king tik sikarek must. Helevaya salawap de karmic sin flix utoric must. Helevaya klai aptoric must kiri molo est. Got the stinkel oeso me karag zu max dirax. Helevex seclore marag zectormix. Fleer merix. Clark semitakurig mos siliwe maraku. Blovirum, coxixific ranglix, Hutaken starang flexu maki ramax, Vlia repsiking, Sukaek samitokorek six, Sebili remax, Gotakumik sifli max or reclext. So, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want in your cosmic blueprint, as long as you know you have one. Your cosmic blueprint doesn't look like your mom's, your dad's, the other awakened being that you were talking to. Can I talk about this too? Speaking of that, okay. So, if you haven't done a level of healing and you're speaking to other beings who are awakening, going through their shadow work, an individual conversation with them can sometimes throw you off if you're not able to discern the level of projection that people in the dimensions people speak from. So when you talk to other conscious beings and you talk to them too much, I'll give you an example. Let's say if you're speaking to a conscious being and you're here living your reality, attacking your reality, but they're at the level of their ascension where they're just finding out the government is what they are, and they continue to project that dimension to you, and you're on a whole nother dimension, but you continue to have conversations. What's going to happen in those conversations is somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose, because two different dimensions are going on and meshing at the same time. And when those dimensions mesh at the same time, one dimension is going to win. So if this person only wants to talk about politics and what they found out about politics, and this person here is tapping into nature, slowing time down, what you think is going to happen in that conversation? You're going to have somebody pulling somebody down or somebody raising somebody up. And you have to realize, if you're the one being pulled down, right, you have to step back and allow that person to heal so they can get to where you are. Because even if they're getting to where you are, by the time they get to where you were, you're at a whole other place. You're at a whole other place. If Milton, if you think my language is gibberish, you're not on the frequency to process nor understand it. That's all. And that's okay, Milton. You have to tap into more of your feeling side, brother. You gotta tap into your right brain, because it's a feeling language. It's the primordial tongue, it's mother's tongue. I'm speaking with nature's tongue and you think it's gibberish. That means that you're not tapped into nature, buddy. Klelirik mukamak sotakimerich. Zileweplikore merapik. Somita correct. Zoom. Flaxi raku. Meskirakshu. Correct. Semita correct. Sick. Maclix. Maclags are Ramos. Vili oski melawama repliking. Devilix. Sutik Siphic. Rankli Mak Sotakurix. Even when you speak the language, right? Somebody said in my Rastafari, a lot of y'all ask, am I Jamaican? Because the language sounds like "Kli off school miracle." No, it's just the beings that are Aboriginal and off this planet. We sound like that, and the Jamaican dialect and the African dialect sound closer, more like the Holmes type of dialect. So when you hear me speaking the higher tongue, even in that, the accent that comes along with it is what gave them their accents. You see, so you may hear more Jamaican in mine than even the African because I'm a dragon being that likes to be in the Caribbean, I like to be in the water. So I was around more water. So my dialect represents the beings that were around the water. Maclaig Teremos, Maclaigs, more mineral water. Like, and Africa definitely has a lot of water. Let's not get that chopped and twisted. It's just that I sound more like the Jamaicans because that's the beings I come from. I mean, dragon beings, we sound clags. I'm into correct. Sick told me clear, Marak, soon. Vle autocorrect clear, Marakin, Sabet Kim, Telak, Sumin to Karaksik. Vle Merakleaks, Utakoraksik, the Kumaragal, Eramo, Socorix. Vle directly Arax, Utakumarix. And the thing is, I don't even need the beings to understand it that are not on the frequency. I don't care for them to understand it. Anybody who understands the language or is meant to understand the language. My animals, family, understand the language. My family above my head in those ships understand my language. The cosmos understand my language. So really, it doesn't matter. Because in order to understand it, you have to be on that frequency. It's a frequency. It's the dragon's tongue. Some people call it dragon serpent. There's nothing wrong with serpent. It's interesting how ever since childhood they make us feel like the serpents were bad. They put serpents as bad things in movies. What they do? They said the serpent made Eve by the apple. Right there, first step of demonizing the serpent. When the whole Kundalini energy is that serpentine energy. That S on Superman's chest, that's a serpent, signalizing the Kundalini energies. The cobra on my head as King Tut, that's Kundalini energy. The serpent, the cobra. We are the dragon beings. I am part of the family of the dragon beings, that beings that have the royal bloodline. That's why I speak a different type of tongue. My bloodline is different. Many of your bloodlines are different. You've been living around humans that make you feel funny for projecting your bloodline. Because when you speak and move with that type of bloodline attribute, it intimidates the hell out of humans. They're like, what is this higher thing? I can't understand it. Go to attack it immediately. That's what they do. That's what they do. Bravo. You're still in a lower frequency. I don't claim anything. I am primordial. Boom. That's it. I'm a being who have lived for eons. You humans or you younger gods have put so many names, and behind these names, there is a feeling. Draco, oh, bad. Yo, higher. Get higher. Get higher, man. I'm not claiming no set. I am what I am. I am that I am. Take it how you want it. Sklet skierag zu matakimarek. Vle skierag zotakumerek. Mla oskilawa marakliks. Melekapsikloa barag. Zotakimarek simarekli maxt. Zotakuriks. I'm just reading some of this stuff. Classed. I'm not Mr. Intensity no more, young. Don't try to get me back there in that dimension. I'm not him. I'm me. I'm all right. I keep it real simple for y'all. Coach Reg B. I keep it real simple. Coach Reg B. Clag, Sumita correct. Sick. Told me Raksu. I keep on talking about my previous stuff I did. I did that already. That's done. This is what happens too with people as well. When you get around your family and your friends, they continue to remind you of what you used to do, not what you're doing now. That is a ploy by a program that is inside of beings right now that try to make that being drunk back into the space to have to talk about it. I'm not something that you just do. You don't know why you do it. It's okay. I'm just pointing it out. I'm not going into past portals. I don't even save past pictures in my phone. Any picture from my past of anybody, of anything that I did from my past, I delete from my phone. Right? I do that. I did that months ago. I was like, wait a second. Every single time I look at these pictures, I'm actually going to the past. Now, I was supposed to use the past as a learning experience to make sure my actions don't reflect the past because of that past experience. But if I continue to allow my phone to trap me into past experiences of reminiscence and reflection, how do I appreciate the now to create better experiences right now? So all it needs to be about is the now. Anybody in your phone that's from a previous reality that you don't speak to no more, delete that. Shit, change your number. Too many people have too much access to you. As soon as you change your number, family, you'll feel those energetic cords leaving you. Because if somebody from your past can just reach out to you whenever they want, the previous dimensions can just pull on your space. So change your number. Change your number. They should not have access to you anymore if they're not on your frequency. Because if they are on your frequency and they continue to have access to you, they can just pull on your cords whenever they decide to. Why would you want that? You want anybody just walking in your house whenever you want them to? Protect your space. Protect your energy. Somebody answer the question of this person. What is the drink? You know what the drink is. Seclair Morak, Sutukumere Clares, Oraclis, Oraclae Maragzu, Jiloep Lecumba, Master Takim Parik, Evelevec Sitakumama, Raplicum Terik, Sitakim Baraxic, Evletakim Marix, Utaifik, Rankli Mak Sotakurik. So, do what you do. There's many ways to solve this. Many ways. I'm telling you. How can we get rid of a body of virus? This is a good question. Y'all can also ask questions too. Somebody said dismemberment was an ancient practice to the rosters best performed on a serpent. I don't know what do you mean dismemberment on a serpent? You mean cutting them up? I don't know nothing about that. How do we get rid of body viruses? You burn them out. When they gave y'all that little shot back in the day and you rose your frequency and then boom, you weren't affected by it no more. It's because you burned it out. You get rid of any virus by burning it out, raise your frequency. You raise your frequency, everything that you do as a matter of fact will reflect that getting burnt out. You raise your frequency, you're going to want to eat better food. You increase the heat and the conductivity that flows through your body, your internal fire, which burns all the viruses out. Gods don't get sick, ever. Ever. Sickness is not a thing to a god. We don't get sick. Our frequency is too high to get sick. You burn them out, raise your frequency. Change your thoughts, change what you actually give your energy to, your time to. The reason why you're getting sick or getting viruses at all is because your frequency is allowed to be inhabited or attacked. Your aura has too many spots and holes in it, which affects your organs, because your aura affects your chakras and your chakras affect your organs. You have like several defenses up right now. They're just weakened. You want to increase your defense? Hey, take a salt, just dump salt over your head. Take urine, dump urine over your head before you take a shower. Boom, your auric field just increases. Yup. You don't want to get sick? Change your energy, because you only get sick because of your energy being weak. Simple as that. You don't eat certain food to make you sick if your energy's high. You don't even crave it. That was so fun. Cicadas, So I saw a video of cicadas peeing. I didn't even know cicadas peed like that. Yeah, if you got peed on by a cicada, hey, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, y'all. Pee is healing. Them cicadas is super healthy. Live in nature. You'll be fine. You'll be fine, y'all. It's a blessing. Stop tripping. Somebody said thoughts on cell phones being a scrying black mirror. I 100% agree. My cell phone is a black mirror. My iPad is a black mirror. That TV is a black mirror. You are being watched by everything. Okay? Just accept it. You're being watched. You can't hide. It's your movie. You can't hide from your own movie, y'all. You're on your own stage right now. You can't hide. If you don't want to watch it, put your TV down at night. If you don't want your phone watching you, put your phone down at night. If it bothers you, you'll get to a certain dimension where it don't even bother you no more. You just accept that everybody's watching you. The unnatural beings are watching you. The demon beings are watching you. Your ancestors, which are you in other forms, are watching you. The ships are watching you. The government's watching you. Everybody's watching you. You begin to get so comfortable in your own skin, you don't give a fuck. That's not even a worry. As a matter of fact, to even worry about it takes your energy away from you. It's like, I'm on my shit. If y'all watch me be on my shit, have at it. I'm on my shit. I'm having a good time over here, remembering who I am. Y'all step back. Y'all watching me. Just don't wild out on me. Y'all do what y'all do with y'all lawnmowers and y'all saws, but I'm gonna just go ahead and transmute that anyway. See, it don't matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. McClag, so it's a correct sick. Tommy Clash. Clyde Marak, Sutokumare, Claire, Raplakum. Vle o Skirak, Sutakimare, Klex. Blik Otorek, Mas, Kirak, sick. Tommy to correct sick. Temerex. Blik Otorek, Mas, Kerex. Exactly. Like, okay, here's a big thing. If all is your mind, technically you're watching yourself. Yes, a lot of NPCs. You have to realize, Felicia, that when we're talking this type of knowledge that is dangerous, there are groups of NPCs that comment on these videos to throw you off. Don't use the NPCs in here as honing your energy and not allowing it to get a reaction out of you. Even by responding to them through this chat throws you off because you have to sit there and type something to them. Do not respond to the NPCs no more. Just let them be. I'll take care of them because they don't throw my energy off. I take care of them because I've mastered my energy to a degree where I can just delete them from this chat or go see them in the astrals where they don't come back to the next video. They got to send other ones because those other ones got taken out. That's how it goes. McClyde, Toremaraxic, Tommy Roxic, Tommy Clyde, Marak Sukorek. Somebody said, love the noise around you. Y'all hear that? That's frequency. That noise around me is the electric humming of nature. The insects are electric and they're sending vibrational frequencies to me. The hummingbirds come around in my ear. That's how they sound. The birds tweet. Frequencies, communication that are reprogramming my body. Because the avatars that we are used to, because this short little experience here, are used to has higher level type of food. Sound is food. Everything is touching you. To even hear something, it has to touch your eardrum. So it's touching you. You're interacting with it. If you can hear it, it touches you. You don't have to go and pick it up. You can hear it. It just touched you. Vultures are going to continue to follow y'all. Yes, they follow me everywhere. They're your protectors. Don't trip. Vultures are your protectors. Everywhere I have ever went on this journey since I left where I lived in Williamstown, New Jersey. While even I was in Williamstown, New Jersey, vultures have been following me. Vultures follow me. Hawks follow me. Eagles follow me. Dragons follow me. Ships follow me. Crows follow me. Ravens follow me. Deers follow me. Black eagles follow me. Owls follow me. Because everything's watching you. They're protecting you. You've been surrounded. You've been surrounded. Cops, they follow you less when you calibrate your fear senses to them, because as you become sovereign to the police, they can't touch you. So they follow you, and then when you don't react or respond to them, they stop following you too, because they can't touch you no matter what's going on with your license or your car or your notes or whatever. Like once you become sovereign, that is not even an issue no more. You're out of that programming, you're out of those rules. You don't follow those rules anymore. So following you is like intimidation, to see if it's intimidation, but it's also a ability to calibrate your fear senses as well, because you're not supposed to be afraid of them. If you're in your God state, you're not afraid of them at all. I'm not talking about Draco reptilians. That's not relevant to this video right now. It's not really relevant at all. So, oh, mountain lions. Oh, I've been waiting for the mountain lions to come. Been waiting for the mountain lions. Bear. A bear came up. I was approached by a bear in my last spot. Deer. Some type of other, I think a fox. It was a fox, and the other being came to me, but it was dark. It was like little. Then bobcats, they came to me. They were actually fighting right next to me, the bobcats. That was another thing. And my cat's been transforming too. He shows me his little transformations at night. Because your cats aren't what you think they are as well. Just letting y'all know that. So, you know what I mean? Because gods are not fearful. We are fearless. If you are fearful, you're not tapping into your God essence. That's why this action on this cosmic blueprint is specific to you. You're going to go through your test when it's time for you to go through your test, my family. Met de Kaibik, Stemilo Est, Flix Utorext. Somebody said, okay, I'm going to give y'all a cool story about my cats, right? So I had 3 cats, 3 black cats, Mystic, Magic, and Mathematics, also known as Thalamus. I lived life, many lives with my main cat, Thalamus. He was the one that was on the video in my Instagram where I was talking to him in drag and he came over to me. Now, I didn't realize that Thalamus is a sage. Thalamus jumps in and out of portals right in front of my face. He'll go places and he'll jump out of the portal right in front of me. And I won't see or hear him, and he'll just materialize in front of me. He does this to me, especially when I go in these rooms. And that's not too often these days. Now, my cat, about 4 years ago, told me to get 2 other cats. They were kittens, Mystic and Magic. I got them, I raised them, and he taught Magic how to fight, and how to hunt. And she became the hunter because I needed a lot of protection around me. Cats, black cats symbolize protection. So I got 3 black cats, and they would form a perimeter around my home while I lived in Williamstown. Nobody would ever mess with them 3 black cats. And I lived around police officers and white people and detectives, because whenever you live around nicer areas in nature, that's where they be. Police officers, detectives, all that stuff, right? Not realizing my home was basically a compound. Many of your homes, you're on compounds of containment. That's another story. Now, when I started this journey and sold my home, I started with all 3 of my cats. When I went to a spot in North Carolina, my first cat, Magic, disappeared. No pun intended, her name being Magic. She disappeared, never saw her again. Contract was up. Then the next spot, my next cat, Mystic. She just walked away on me. She just said, all right, I'm done. She said, bye, experience over. I come to find out later, I look at my main black cat, Mathematics, and he begins to start looking like both of the cats. He walks like them. He acts like them. He looks like them. I'm like, what the freak? Why are you looking like Mystic right now? Why are you looking like Magic right now? Not realizing that Magic and Mystic were him. That disguised themselves as 2 cats. He separated himself as 2 cats because you can do that. We have such power that we can separate ourselves into other experiences right then and there. So Magic and Mystic were actually Mathematics. And they told me that through a dream about a week ago after I got that. Because when my first spot that I went to after I left my home in North Carolina, no, it was Virginia. In Virginia, they all showed me themselves. They disappeared for a day. I thought they had left me then, all of them. The next day, I find a spring that was down the hill at the house, and I see 3 ravens, and the ravens tell me, "We your cats. We just transformed into your cats. You're on a dimension now. We can reveal this information to you that we can do these things because now you're at the point where cognitive dissonance won't kick in. We can actually give you this knowledge, and you won't freak out because on certain dimensions, right?" You can get certain information, but on certain dimensions, you can't get it because you can't process it. You have to be able to process it to receive certain information, which is why I can say this type of information. And certain beings cannot process it, and they just they glitch out. They glitch out. And their mission was to be combined with him. And those 2 cats, my girls, because they were 2 girls, they come to me in the dream state now. I see them all the time in my dreams. So he separated in this dimension to put them back in the astrals. That's how that go. Cats always go to new dimensions. They do that all the time. They go to sleep and they be traveling and jumping into birds all the time. They jump into birds. They can jump cats are the most intelligent animals on land. Point blank, period. Cats are the most intelligent animals on land. They better think they're lucky stars the cats aren't bigger. Because cats to run this whole thing with the dragons. Because cats are dragons. Cats can also transform into dragons. My cat is a dragon. He does not like a normal cat. He's a dragon. Everybody who ever saw him was like, "Yo, your cat don't look like he a regular cat. He not. He a dragon. You looking at a dragon. You see an ancient being there. It's a freaking dragon. He grow. He's my favorite dragon. Remember how Khaleesi in Game of Thrones had 3 dragons? Yeah, 3 dragons. And then was at the end she had 1. That's me. Many of y'all too. Like some of these stories be about y'all. They put it out there with another face on it. Then when you find out it's about you, you be like, "Well, that was a white person on there." No, that was really you. Clark, somebody to correct, sick more Clarks. Y'all ever see like little shadows of your cats walking in the hallway? I just saw my just walk. Yeah. Somebody said, "What are your thoughts on how to protect your dreams that are being stolen?" You put from outside. I'll say me, right? If you think they're being stolen, first you have to clear your body out before you go to bed. Make sure your vessel is clear before you go to bed, because a lot of your vessels are under attack by parasitic beings through the food. Many of the ingredients in the food are archons. And before you go to bed, you're eating the archons, which allow them to steal your dreams because you're putting them in your stomach, which is the conduit for your mind. That's one. Make sure your body is clear so intruders do not, you're not eating your intruders. Many of you are eating your intruders and you can't burn them out through digestion. That's one. Two, you can form a crystal sigil around a crystal barrier around your bed as well. That's two. You can also pour salt around your bed as well. And then you can learn how to wake up in your dreams. Also, when you wake up in the daytime, in the AM, you can begin to write down whatever you remember from your dreams, which can also pull your recall in faster. If you want to remember your dreams, I choose not to. I choose to remember pieces because I know I'm going to experience that state all the time. And I want to experience this state because I'm having so much fun here on this ascension journey. I'll get to that when I get to that. Whatever shows up for me, whatever I remember. But I'm not really interested in escaping right now. And dreams are not really escape if you are, balancing the dreams and this reality out. Dreams are escape when you're only going to asleep for an experience, not realizing that you're having one while you're up. You're jumping all around to your other experiences when you go to sleep. You always can do that. It's a matter if you're remembering or not, depending on how clear your vessel is, how tuned your vessel is, how high your frequency is, what you consumed, whether it was through your eyes or through your mouth before you went to bed. That influences your dream state. What you're consciously thinking about influences your dream state. What you're giving your time to and your energy to and who you're interacting with is influencing your dream state. When you begin to give yourself back your time, your energy, your dream state begins to change. You regain control over it because your dream state reflects what you're doing in your conscious state. And then these beings that cannot enter in anymore. Your frequency is too high. The fact of the matter is, in your dream state, you have the ultimate power. The fact of the matter is, you're not moving with ultimate power here, so your dream state is reflecting that. It's only reflecting what it is that's happening to you here, being extracted from. Because if you're still going to work and doing all this extra shit, you're still being extracted from. So why wouldn't your dream state be any different? As above, so below, as within, so without. Am I right or am I right? Maklex. Maklex, the Remost. And before you ask that question, I did not know the answer. That's how you can pull it. You pull it from the right brain. Y'all ask me questions, I just get the answer. That's how it go. Honestly, it's that easy. It's that easy, yo. When y'all really have tapped into your internal world, you realize you got all the freaking answers. You got all of them because you've been giving yourself the answers all this time. So when somebody asks you a question, it's like, oh, a reflection of me is asking a question that I actually want to answer. That must mean I want to know the answer too. Or I want more details on what it is I've been doing. No prep videos for you. No prep language for you. Out the soul, the throat. Out the soul, through the heart, through the throat. Because it has to be with love. My messages come with love. Even if it pisses some of y'all off, it's coming with love. I'm just a family member trying to give y'all some love in the way God's give love. That's funny. Are you the dude disguised as a dude playing another dude? That's funny, yo. I mean, you are too. Many of y'all are too. You were disguised as the good student. Then you realize you weren't the good student. You were disguised as the worker. Then you realize you wanted to be a boss. So you're the worker learning the system that became a boss. That didn't realize you were the boss learning how to change the system. So when you were a boss, you would learn from that. And then you realize that wasn't nothing as well. And then you came to nature. And then you realize, wait a second, I'm a cosmic being that thought all those systems and all those roles I played as a human was me. And it really wasn't me. They was just the role I was playing. So I was disguising myself. I was myself disguising myself from myself until I pulled the disguise off through healing. Because if I pulled it off too soon, it would fragment my brain to figure out who I really was. Huh. The clicks. I like that. That Tropic Thunder movie was pretty cool. I like that movie. Claire, on the correct, Zick, Tony Rex. You mean disguised as Elohim and Jesus, who are God in each body? I mean, yes. Yes, I do mean that. Yes. I mean, Elohim are beings. Who do you think they were? Who do you think they are? Oh, you think the Elohim? You think the Elohim is just in them ships? You think the Elohim ain't here? Okay. You think Yeshua ain't here right now? Okay. You still give me your power away, I see. All right. Got you. Cool. Clag the reckless or Rex. All right, y'all. I'm gonna let y'all sit with that today. Enjoy your time, enjoy your space, enjoy your energy. Listen to what I'm saying here. Apply it to whatever applies to you at this time, and make it your own, because your own cosmic blueprint is specific to you, and it's how you're going to get yourself to the next level of ascension. And you will be there for as long as you decide to, because nobody is going to save you unless you save you. Clyde directs to karmics or plagues coming together first with self, then with our true family. So if you're not around your true family, I suggest you come together with yourself so you can attract what's going on inside of here. Because if you're unhealed, you're only going to attract other beings who are unhealed. If you're lonely, looking for people who are lonely, you're only going to find beings who are afraid of being lonely, not realizing that they were just being prepared for the next stage. Love you all. Clogs, Zirag, Zoo.